Okay, I'd like to call Pastor Ken Stoller from Christian Life Family Church for the invocation.
Thank you, sir. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for your goodness and mercy. I thank you for these men and women that have given themselves to the business and direction of our city and our community. Lord, I pray that you give them wisdom, give them unity to accomplish, to move our city forward, that your blessing and guidance and discernment and understanding in all that they deal with, Lord, just let your hand be upon each one of them, that our city would be blessed, that our city would be at peace, and that you just give them strength and courage, Lord, to make all the choices, decisions, and the wisdom to guide us. We pray that our city would be blessed. I thank you for each one, Lord. Bless them, refresh them, Father, in your presence. We give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Stoller.
Recording in progress.
I'd like to call tonight's Common Council meeting on January 6th to order. It is 7:02.
Davis? Here. Lampy? Here. Berg?
Here.
Bartz? Here. Blanky?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Arnett?
Here.
Wetzel? Here. Moldenhauer?
Here.
Okay, thank you. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. First on the agenda, minutes from the council meeting on December 16th.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Blanky?
I'll move for approval.
Okay, a motion by Blanky. Second by Bartz. Okay, any questions on it? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Next, we have comments and suggestions from citizens present. Anybody wishing to speak in front of the council, you have up to 3 minutes. Please state your name and address. Okay. Seeing none, I'll move on next to the public hearing. Public hearing for transit adult fare increases. I'll now open the public hearing. Anybody wishes to speak, please come in front of the audience. Okay, being none, I'll then close the public hearing at 7:04 and move on to reports. We have tourism minutes from December 11th, RDA minutes from December 17th, and site plan review minutes from December 22nd. Mr. Berg?
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to make a little bit of a comment on the redevelopment authority minutes from December 17th. We had some good presentations from individuals that are going to actually assist our city in the areas of financing. We have an opportunity zone within Watertown that they're going to help make people aware of as far as the advantages of investing in that opportunity zone. There's also this topic of tax credits and other types of grants that might be available that they're going to make available through us, through our contacts with these individuals that came to our meeting that night. It was a very, very good presentations on the part of both of these individuals, and they welcome the opportunity to be of help and to help individuals and our RDA board as a whole going forward, which I thought was quite meaningful. But the last comment that I'd like to make is we are losing a person that oversees our town square, Benson Square. That individual did a nice job for us, but because of our funding changing, she is going to be working elsewhere, and it's going to have the effect of transferring duties to largely to our Park and Rec Board and our director, Christine Butteris. She is going to need help from Tourism Board, Park and Rec Commission, the Main Street Program, Chamber of Commerce, and individuals that can come forward to help address some of the issues of programming, maintenance, and the continued viability of that town square as an important asset for our town. So it's going to be a transition, and it's going to actually require a lot of us individually where we can to help, so that this change in the coordination of programming and overseeing of that through that individual we had, Stephanie Jules, who did a nice job, but we now have to do it in a different way, and I'm just making our council aware, which they are, that this year will be a transition year for us to hopefully address that in a way that continues to make the Benson Square an asset like it has been. There's a lot of money invested into that area of town, and we have every reason to want to make it successful, but it'll have to be done in a different way with our boards that we have in town doing more than they have been doing in that regard. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just here. Anybody else? Okay. Move on to communication recommendations. Watertown Fire Department monthly report for October, November of 2025. Starts on page 12 in your packet. Mr. Lampe, you go.
Thank you, Mayor. Hi, Chief.
Hi.
Page 17 in the packet, I just wanted to look at some of the overtime differences between 2024 and 2025. It looks to the naked eye that 2025 has more consistent daily staffing overtime as opposed to 2024. Is there some intent behind that?
Okay, so there was a lot of things that happened in 2025. We stabilized our staffing. We were actually staffed, or fully staffed-ish. But with that, we were not staffed with qualified people. So we had new people that we hired. And so we had to send people to paramedic. And so we had to do hire back to have qualified people to be on the ambulance per se, because we didn't have somebody to fill the spot that they needed to be a driver of the engine, because they weren't driver operator or they weren't a paramedic yet. Another thing is we had 5 or 6 people out on long-term FMLA. We had a couple babies, which is exciting. We had a couple injuries and other things happen last year. And then we did also increase our staffing to 7 as a minimum for the safety of our crews and the citizens.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Bartz, go ahead.
Yeah, Chief, thanks again for
Yeah.
pulling this information together on a monthly basis for us. When I look at these reports every month, one thing that always piques my interest is the response time heat map. And on the October report, it's for the month of October on page 14, but in the November report, you converted that into year-to-date, which is super. So I have a couple questions on that, and I'm just going to ask them both at the same time because you'll understand.
Okay.
Could you explain the heat map and what we are seeing and some potential reasons? And then does the extended response correlate to simultaneous calls, travel distance, staffing levels, or all of the above?
Absolutely. I wish I could pull up the live map and show you all the bells and whistles that I get to play with our new reporting system. Essentially, what I'm doing is taking a snapshot at year-to-date of that area of the response time that you have. And what you have is the blue is the response time that is less than 5 minutes and 20 seconds. The green hue is between 5 and 6 minutes. The yellow or orange, depending on your color choice, is between 6 and 7 minutes. And then red is over 7 minutes. And with this, with all of them filtered and layered on top of each other, it's hard to see what the red is, and I have the ability to turn those filters on and off. I also have the ability to turn on and off emergency response versus non-emergency response. So when we do non-emergency response, that might be for the lift assist that we see those calls going up for, service calls for like animal rescues for our little ducklings, and those types of things, which are not true emergencies, where we're super concerned about the response time. Since the year ended and I knew I was coming here tonight, I just kind of looked, I've been working on the annual report, and I just turned all of those non-emergency calls off and all of our everything, and I just looked at what our above 6 minutes and 59-second response time was, and there was still 422 calls that were over 7 minutes for our response times in that area for the year. And so what those were and where those were located, I can't show you right now, but that was on the northeast corner up by the hospital area, Boughton Street, 121 Hospital Drive area, and then on the west side near like Farm and Fleet and that type of area. And so that's kind of where the outer edges of our community are, obviously. And then we did have some longer response times towards the central and northern part of the community as well, is where I kind of saw that heat map develop. So we have the ability to really make an informed decision and dial in and out and to see like where the calls are and to see if it's because of emergency calls or non-emergency calls and that type of thing. Some of the reasons that these longer response times may be happening is because of the simultaneous calls that we've had. We've had more of those. We've been tracking that as well. We've seen that we've been in the 30% realm, 25 to 30%. I don't have December's yet. I tried to take vacation. And then, so what happens with a simultaneous call is we don't staff a second ambulance. People have to go off of the engine, grab their gear, go on the ambulance to go on that call. So that obviously takes longer to go on the call and get out the door and to get there. They may be on an emergency where it was a critical call, so the engine and the ambulance is on scene and they have to come back to the station to get the ambulance to go on the other ambulance call. Or just the travel distance that we just discussed. So these are all things that we've been looking at, and one thing that we've been discussing and we've known for most of this year, I just couldn't make the change mid-year, was how do we determine the first out versus second out, and how often is that really happening? Mr. Arnett had been asking that, and I've wanted to give him the right data, but I wasn't able to. So for 2026, we renumbered our ambulances. So our primary ambulance, when it goes on a call, will always be 4151, and when it's a secondary call, or the second out ambulance, it will always be 4152. So if it's staffed with the engine company, I'll then be able to break those calls down now. The way it was before, it would be like if one call was primary and that ambulance went down for service, we would pull like 4153, and it could be a first out ambulance or it could be a second out ambulance, you wouldn't know. Now we're able to distinguish and know if it's a primary call for service or a secondary call for service. So we'll be able to break that data out even more for you guys to see even more, and we'll be able to track that going into 2026 when I start seeking staffing for an ambulance and that type of thing. Does that answer your question? Okay, thanks. Yes, sir.
To recognize me first.
Oh, sorry.
I don't want to upset him.
I don't want to get upset him either. I'm not in charge.
Let me go back a few years, Mr. Blanky. Go ahead.
So my comments are probably going to sound familiar.
Okay.
But I want to start off by saying I'm impressed with the turnout time. I think that speaks to the dedication of the crew and the training and the leadership. It's showing a consistent downward trend, and it is down to 2 minutes and 3 seconds, which is a marked improvement. I mean, we're talking about a 30-second improvement, roughly, on the turnout time. And as I noted months ago, how quickly fires can double in time. Obviously, you're training for that, and the crew understands that. And kudos to them. They're doing a fantastic job on that. Also, the all-response zone time went down, so about a 36-second decrease from the prior month. And overall, it's down to 831 from a high water mark of 942. So that's also encouraging to see. Of course,
Still high.
I should have done the sorry sandwich, positive, negative, positive. But the last one, of course, is the city response time, unfortunately, does still show a slight upward trend. And I understand that there are other factors involved in that. But again, it shows that the crew and you and everyone involved are doing everything they can and that you're sensitive to this topic. And I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are definitely very sensitive. The crews are aware of it. They get these reports, and we've been sharing the information during our pass downs as well. We've also been giving them the tools with the Opticom project. We were able to incorporate some technology in the apparatus to be able to have more accurate times as well. So hopefully, you guys have the best information possible to go forward. So thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you, Chief. Okay. Move on to new business then. Convene in the closed session per statute 19.85 to confer with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy be adopted by the body with respect to litigation which it is or is likely to become involved. Claim of empowers.
I'll make that motion to go into closed session.
Motion by Davis. Second by Bartz. Thank you. Okay, Megan.
Davis. Lampy.
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Arnett.
Aye.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We're in a closed session at 7:18. Smith?
I would make a motion that we disallow this claim.
Okay, motion by Smith.
Second.
Second by Arnett. Thank you. Any further discussion on it? Okay.
Smith,
Aye.
Arnett,
Aye.
Wetzel, Moldenhauer,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy, Berg,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Next, D, convene a closed session for 19.85 to confer with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Claim of M. Reed. Okay, motion by Wetzel to move in a closed session.
Second.
Second by Blanky.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Okay, next F, review and take action, claim for damages of M. Reed. Mr. Smith?
Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion that we deny the claim.
Okay, motion by Smith for denial. Okay, second by Davis. Thank you. Okay, any further questions, discussion on that? Okay.
Smith,
Aye.
Arnett,
Aye.
Wetzel, Moldenhauer,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Lampy.
Aye.
Berg,
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky. Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Next, under miscellaneous business, the payroll summary from November 26th through December 9th, and paid invoices report for November of 2025. Any questions on that? Okay. Move on to resolution. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Christine is gone.
Make sure I can apologize. She's gonna mute herself yet, so. Technology. Okay, resolutions, Exhibit 9816, resolution to accept the dedication of park land for F Heights Phase 3 in the city of Watertown, sponsored by myself and the Planning Commission. Mr. Blanky.
Move for Exhibit 9816.
Okay, motion by Blanky. Second by Arnett, okay. Any questions? I know the builders are here too, if anyone's gonna. Mr. Berg?
Yeah, I'm just asking to clarify again, the number of residential lots, was it 56, or do you recall the size of the subdivision?
54?
53.
As Mr. Blanky had mentioned at the Planning Commission meeting, with the Hep Heights and new Lewis homes, we're looking at like over 100 homes probably in that area. They're without a park right now. Mr. Blanky?
If I may, yeah, this was one of the concerns of the residents in the Hep Heights subdivision, that the only park near them is Grinwald Park on Highway A, Milford Street, and there's no pedestrian access to this, so this would give them a neighborhood park for the kids in a much safer walking distance.
This is a much better option than to take a fee, is to get the land and actually have the park.
It depends upon your perspective, but
Well, I mean, under what you just told me, it
Yeah.
sounds to me like it would be.
yes, for that neighborhood, I think that this is definitely a positive development.
Anyone's got questions for Mr. Werner? He's here. Okay. No? Okay.
Okay, one more second.
Mr. Berg?
Yeah, so the parkland's being dedicated, but then all the playground equipment that goes with that parkland, is that, since they're donating the land, is the park equipment, playground, will that be a donation or other means of revenue that are going to provide that to the park?
You there, Christine? I don't believe so. I believe it's just the land only right now. There's typically more grant money to be able to get equipment in there. Mr. Werner, yeah.
This was a parcel that was in the Headlight subdivision. As an option with the edge field development next door, we did parkland donation, little park fees, for a portion of these. There's more lots than there was land. But as Mr. Blanky said, there was a lot from the neighbors for park. So we are donating land.
Yes, Mr. Arnett.
Well, I'll take a shot at answering Alderberg's question, which is, in this particular case, it's the land only, so the city will be responsible for putting any facilities on there. That could come through, as mentioned, grant money, that could come through city budget, or that could come through the Park and Improvement Fund, which is built up from cases where a donation in lieu of land was given.
Yeah.
So it's on us through those multiple mechanisms.
Mr. Lampy.
In terms of reference, I believe it's the December 22nd packet, pages 9 and 10, that has the pictures of where that parcel actually is and where the park is. Came with a positive recommendation from our Park and Rec director, obviously.
I think it's just one more comment related to that. The West Haven had all the houses built, and there was a piece of land that sat there for way over 10 years. And at some point in time, you know, I represented East Haven, but I worked with Jim Rumline at the time, and we received grants from, I think, the Quirk Foundation, and we Alderperson Arnett is right that the Parkland Improvement Fund is an option for revenues to help assist with that type of a situation. But I know it took years for West Haven to actually have some semblance of a playground there, and I would hope it doesn't sit for years for this vacant land to be sitting without improvements that they can use other than the land itself. So I think we do have resources and options, and I would hope that we act in a timely way to make that playground and that park active and useful.
Okay. Well, we had multiple playgrounds that were on the agenda many times during the budget, and that was taken out. So if you want that, make sure it's in there, then we have money in the budget for the park. I need no way to vote that out anymore. So I got no problem filling the parks with stuff, but then please don't vote no anymore. Okay.
Mayor
Anybody?
Stocks,
Yes.
on that particular point you're making, we did allocate parkland improvement funds to address that need.
Yes, we also cut a lot of money out of the budget, which is fine. I'm just saying that if we don't have the money for it, it's okay, but if somebody asks to make sure that more playground equipment's in there, then we can't take money out of the budget for it. So we can't have it both ways. We
did our
can't
job.
take money out
Yeah.
of the budget
Yeah.
and then say later on we gotta put stuff in there.
Yeah.
That's it. Any more questions on it? Okay. Yeah. Myron, you there yet?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here.
Just making sure the sound's okay.
Yep.
Okay, Christine says we'll be developing the space at a later date to work on our other playground needs. Since, like Washington Park would be one I can think of, since there's a lot of parks that are way behind and having new playground equipment. Once the ones we've been having for a while have new equipment, then we'll fund this one. Okay. Nothing else can take, any roll on this?
You can do roll.
Okay.
Blanky?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Arnett?
Aye.
Wetzel? Moldenhauer?
Aye.
Davis? Lampy? Berg?
Aye.
Bartz? Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that'll leave us up. Last two comments and suggestions from citizens present. Anybody wishing to address the council can state your name and address and come at the front of the room. Okay. All right, seeing none, I'll then look for a motion to adjourn.
I would so move.
Okay, thanks, Myron. Motion by Moldenhauer.
Second.
Okay, second by Arnett. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. 7:42.
Recording stopped.